What's the password?
Eternity.
Correct.
One last time, Sophistos. Will you work with me and tell me where the Black Grimoire is?
I will never collaborate with you, servant of evil.
I am disappointed that you decline my offer. Bring him back to where you took him. No one will look for him there, and the rats will not leave much evidence. So, you must be the troublemaker. I'm still amazed that you managed to slay one of our order, but don't think you stand a chance against me! I was born on the streets of Jericho. My mother and father were murdered by scum when I was a young child. Their ashes I kept by my side since that day. As I grew stronger. Fueled by rage and blinded by vengeance, I trained. Until one day, I took my revenge, and the murderers fell like flies to my wrath. From that day on, no one dared stand against me. With my bare hands, I built an empire by making allies and letting blood. And finally, my alliance with the undead Archon made me immortal! You are the only threat to the plan. None of us knew you existed. But this ends here, now!
I will restore the balance. It is my destiny.
Your destiny is not to stand in the way of ours. Hit me with everything you've got. I won't even break a sweat.
My spirit will not let you go.
You came too late.
You are right, Father. I apologize for my failure.
With Sophistos gone, our link to the Black Grimoire is broken. The one good thing is that the undead Archon is now as clueless as we are. We can't take any more chances. You must find Sophistos.
Find him? He's dead. His corpse is on the bottom of the river.
You disappoint me. Use your senses. His corpse didn't sink to the riverbed. It was taken off the boat and hidden in his former dwelling, as the Persian wraith demanded. And death is not as final as it might seem.
So I must find Sophistos' corpse to recover the Black Grimoire.
Yes, but be quick. Your enemy has not yet discovered you. But this will not be true for much longer. Their allies are beginning to stir, and these are much harder to trace. Hide yourself. Stay in shadow.
Our enemies are undead. Why can you not just take their souls?
Because these undead have broken our rules. He was chosen to be my follower, the next final guide. My role is but temporary. When my time ends, someone else is chosen to take over, and my time as the final guide will soon be at an end. Soon it will be dark in your world. The evil you see now is naught compared to the suffering that's yet to come. So, the Eternal Council sought a new final guide. The one they chose was called Victor, and his training went well. But then he violated the rules by reading forbidden books, learning the power of necromancy. The Council found out and ended his training immediately, fearing that Victor would abuse his position once he became the final guide. But Victor was not ready to lose what he felt to be his birthright, to become the final guide. So he performed a dark ritual, exploiting the eternal laws. Under the protection of a spell to prevent him dying, Victor cut his own throat, as did 4 of his allies. This created a paradox. How can you be protected from death and die at the same time? This made him and his companions undead and untouchable. So now they are free to do as they please, free from the constraints of the eternal laws. And now Victor plans to destroy the Council and myself by changing the eternal rules, by performing the final ritual, which is written in a book that is not from this earth.
The Black Grimoire.
Yes. If he reads the letters that are written on the black pages, he will become unstoppable and destroy all that the universe knows as law and order.
But you too broke the rules, didn't you?
Not with my intention. I fathered you before I knew anything about the final guide, and it would appear the Council made a mistake. The eternal rules forbid anyone from becoming the final guide if they have children of their own, as the power inevitably spreads to their kin. When the Eternal Council heard of you, they were already in disarray, but I convinced them that my unknown and forbidden child, born out of love for your mother, would now be our strongest weapon against our new enemy.